Okay, welcome to this wonderful electrifying session. In previous class, we saw about deforestation, what is deforestation and what is biosphere reserve, and endemic species and flora and fauna which are present in Panchmahi Biosphere Reserve. Now we are going to discuss about wildlife sanctuaries. Killing, poaching or capturing animals in general is strictly prohibited and punishable by law in such all places. Wildlife sanctuaries like reserve forests provide protection and suitable living conditions to wild animals. People living in wildlife sanctuaries are allowed to do certain activities such as grazing by their livestock, collecting medicinal plants and firewood, etc. Okay, wildlife sanctuaries are protection and suitable living conditions to wild animals. That's a suitable place for wild animals living. That's wildlife sanctuaries. Okay, let's move on. What is wildlife sanctuaries? These are the places the plants and animals protected by very strict laws. Okay, in wildlife sanctuaries, these kind of animals are protected like rhinoceros, pythons, pink-headed duck, marsh crocodiles and golden cat. Okay, these animals are to be protected. Okay, in wildlife sanctuaries, different types of landscapes are there. Some rivers are also a part of sanctuaries. Many bird sanctuaries are there. Okay, now let us look about national parks. We are going to discuss about Satpura National Park. These reserves are large and diverse enough to protect whole set of ecosystems. They preserve flora, fauna, landscape and historic objects of an area. Satpura National Park is the first reserve forest of India. It's very important one. It's the first reserve forest of India. The finest Indian teak is found in this forest. There are more than 100 national parks in India. There are more than 100 national parks, but Satpura National Park is the first reserve forest of India. In this national park, there used to be here lions, elephants, wild buffaloes and Barasinga. These animals which are slowly disappearing now. But among all these, the main one is tiger. The tiger rate is very low now. Level of disappearing is high nowadays. So the government launched Project Tiger. Okay, Project Tiger was launched by the government to protect the tigers in the country. The objective of this project was to ensure the survival and maintenance of the tiger population in the country. Tiger is one of the main species which are slowly disappearing from our forest. But the Satpura Tiger Reserve is unique in this sense that a significant increase in the population of tigers has been seen here. Okay? So, even government protected, sometimes some people enter and kill and hunt the animals for their skin, teeth and nails. They have good commercial value. So, these are the problems. Animals were decreasing now. Next, endangered animals. Animals whose numbers are diminishing to a level that they might face extinction are known as endangered animals. An ecosystem is made up of all the plants, animals and microorganisms in an area along with non-living components such as climate, soil, river, deltas, etc. Okay? The endangered species name notes in a book, that is Red Data book. If you want to know about endangered species, go through that Red Data book through online. You search Red Data book. So then only you create awareness among those endangered species. You got some idea and you will get some idea about endangered species. What is Red Data book and what's in Red Data book? Red Data book is the source book which keeps a record of all endangered animals and plants. Red Data book is maintained internationally by an organization. India also maintains red data book for plants and animals found in India. Okay. Once if you want to know about the endangered species, go through red data book. Then only you create awareness among endangered species. Then you are willingly protected some animals. Okay. Next, migration. Animals and birds, they live in a particular area. They follow a particular habitat. But certain birds, especially birds which live in extreme cold conditions, they migrate to another place to lay eggs. They live in extremely cold conditions. They are not able to lay eggs at extremely cold conditions. So they migrate. To another place and they give birth to young ones. These migrations mostly seen in birds. Migratory birds fly to faraway areas every year during a particular time because of climatic changes. Okay, they fly for laying eggs as the weather in their natural habitat becomes very cold and inhospitable. So they migrate to another place to lay eggs. Birds who cover long distances to reach another land are known as migratory birds. Okay, even butterflies, elephant, fishes. Fishes, they migrate from salt water to fresh water. Elephants also migrate from one place to another place. Okay. Once their work completed, they back to their natural habitat. Okay. For this only some bird sanctuaries to be set up in India, and they freely lay eggs. Okay. Next. Okay. Now see, other things can be done to conserve forest, plants and animals. What are they? One is recycling of paper. Another one is reforestation. Okay. What is recycling of paper? What is recycling of paper? It takes 17 full grown trees to make 1 ton of paper. Therefore, we should save paper. Paper can be recycled 5 to 7 times for use. If each one saves at least 1 sheet of paper in a day, we can save many trees in a year. Okay, we should save, reuse and recycle it. By this we know only save trees but also save energy and water needed for manufacturing paper. Moreover, the amount of harmful chemicals used in paper making will also be reduced. Here onwards, you have to save a paper for a day. Okay? Next, reforestation. What is reforestation? Reforestation is restocking of the destroyed forest by planting new trees. The planted trees should generally be the same species which were found in the forest. We should plant at least as many trees as we cut. Okay, that's very, very important. Reforestation can take place naturally also. If the deforested area is left undisturbed, if re-establishes itself. Okay, if natural reforestation, there is no role of human beings. We have already caused tremendous damage to our forest. Okay, if we have to conservation of plants and animals, retain our green wealth for future generations, plantation of more trees is the only option here. Okay. In India, we have the Forest Conservation Act. This act is aimed at preservation and conservation of natural forest and meeting the basic needs of the people living or near the forest. Okay? Okay, let's discuss what we saw now. Okay, we saw about what is wildlife sanctuaries. The wildlife sanctuaries, also the place the plants and animals to be protected by very strict laws, and killing, poaching and hunting here is to be strictly prohibited and it is considered as a crime. Okay, In wildlife sanctuaries, there are kind of animals like rhinoceros, pythons, pig-headed duck, marsh crocodile, golden-haired cat. It's to be protected. Okay. National Park. Satpura National Park is the first reserve forest of India, and there are more than 100 national parks in India. In Satpura National Parks, the animals like lion, elephants, wild buffaloes, barasingha are there, and they are slowly disappearing now. Okay, among all these, the tiger is the most important one. Their level of disappearing is very, very low. Their level of disappearing is very, very high nowadays. So the government launched Project Tiger. Here the tiger to be protected, and tiger is one of the main species in our country. So here in Satpura Tiger Reserve is unique in that sense because it increased the population of tigers has been seen here. Endangered animals. So animals whose numbers are decreasing to a level that they might face extinction are known as endangered animals. These endangered animals' names noted in the Red Data book, okay, which keeps a record of all the endangered animals and plants. If you want to know about that, you go through online and you go through what is Red Data book and you create awareness among endangered species. And what is endangered species? Okay. Next we saw about migration, migrating birds. What is migrating birds? Migrating birds live in such extreme cold conditions. They are not able to lay their eggs, so they migrate to another place and lay eggs. Okay. After their work completed, they return to their, as usual, they back to their natural habitation. Okay. Even butterflies, fishes, elephants are also do that one. We saw about recycling of paper and reforestation. Recycling of paper means it's nothing. Paper can be recycled 5 to 7 times for use. So if we at least save one sheet of a paper a day, we can save many trees in a year. So we should save, reuse paper and recycle it. Okay, if we save paper means we also save energy and water needed for manufacturing paper. And moreover, the amount of harmful chemicals used in the paper making will also be reduced. So we have to save a paper a day. Okay. Next. So we have to at least save one sheet of a paper in a day. So at least we have to save one sheet of paper in a day. Okay, it's very, very important. Okay, so reforestation is restocking of the destroyed forest by planting new trees. The planted trees should generally be on the same species which were found in the forest. Okay, we should plant at least as many trees as we cut. Okay, reforestation can take place naturally also. Okay, if the deforested area is left undisturbed, it establishes itself. Okay, if we have to conservation of plants and animals, retain our green wealth for our future generations. So for that plantation is more, so for that plantation of more trees is the only option. Okay, next we saw about the Forest Conservation Act. This act is for the preservation and conservation of natural forest. Okay, and meeting the basic needs of the people living or near the forest. Okay. Thank you. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. Okay. Bye-bye.